Hello.
We are the AP ambassadors for
AP Statistics.
Okay, what's the first tip?
My name is Zuri.
My name is Julius. Okay, now what's the first tip?
Okay, so our first tip would be to listen to Dr. Liu in class. A lot of the important content that appears on the exam will be taught in class. So if you miss that, you're basically gonna not know stuff that appears on Blue Book next year.
Okay, what's the second tip?
Okay, the second tip is to do your Carlsberg questions on time. Just do it the day you take the lesson. Don't procrastinate until the last minute before the unit exam. It's not good for you. What's the third tip?
The third tip would be to be familiar with all the functions of your TI-84 Python graphing calculator, because all the essential tests and like the intervals we do and the distributions we calculate are using the graphing calculator that you have. And that will be it for us. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Susan Lee.
And my name is Amy Son.
And we are the AP Statistics Ambassador. So AP Stats is a course that's basically, its main goal is to use samples to generalize to the populations. So it's a very interesting course, and a lot of subjects are related to stats. So it's a very useful course to take. And we're here to offer you guys 3 tips.
So, firstly, be sure that you are aware of all functions of the calculators and knows how to use them, because a lot of questions and stats are only testing your ability to use those functions to reach a final answer.
And the second tip I would like to give you guys is to make sure you fully explain your logic and take each step slowly, because in AP Statistics, even if you get the final answer, like the final number correct, you probably will still lose credits if you didn't explain your answer and your thought processes. And also, it doesn't mean the more you write, the better grade you get, because if you made a mistake in the process of explaining something, you will still be deducted points from the reader. So,
thirdly, follow Dr. Liu in class, because she's a wonderful teacher and you could understand most of the course contents by listening carefully in class.
Yes.
Hey guys, it's Zuri again. So my 3 tips for taking AP Physics C E&M next year would be, first of all, to listen to Dr. Liu in class. She's a really good teacher and she has a lot of passion in physics. So you're definitely gonna learn a lot from her next year. My second tip would be to actually deduce the formulas that you see throughout the course, because you're not going to remember all the formulas that appear on the exam. Some of them come from certain equations, and if you don't remember them, you might need the ability to actually deduce them and understand the theories behind it. And my third and last tip would be to ask Dr. Liu for practice exams and questions, because they just made the exam new this school year, and it's still going to be new next school year. So you might want a lot of practice to be ready for the exam.
Hi guys, my name is Susan Lee.
My name is Angel Wang.
And we are the AP Macroeconomics Ambassadors. And we are here to offer you guys 3 tips.
First of all, make sure that you know all your graphs that are presented in this course, especially the labels on x-axis and y-axis. The graphs have a lot of points when it comes to the actual AP exam, so make sure you memorize them and know what they're talking about.
And my second tip is that macro is a course that really requires your logic. So make sure every single time when you do something, you can zoom out of the view and think from like the country's perspective or like the national perspective, because it's a very broader course, I guess. And also, like when you are doing your FRQs, make sure you take each steps closely, and slowly, so you don't make mistakes while doing the questions.
My 3 tips for AP Macroeconomics would be, number 1, to always ask questions. It doesn't have to be questions for the teacher. It can be questions for your friends as well. But when you have questions for a social science course, make sure you ask them. Make sure you understand the content. My second tip would be to connect the knowledge with real-world examples. For most social science courses, you learn the theories, but on the test, it's going to be real-world applications. And those are the things that will help you actually understand the content. And number 3 is do a lot of practice questions, like a lot. AP Macroeconomics is a course where a lot of the questions and theories are quite similar. The logic is really easy. So once you do a lot of questions, you will understand the logic behind them, and that will help you get a higher score on the exam. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Alicia.
And I'm Vera.
and we are the ambassadors for AP Psychology. And the first tip I would give for students that will take this course next year is that practice as much as you can on AP College Board and Albert I.O. These questions will be very helpful and make you visualize what you are going to take in your real AP exam.
The second tip is do not leave things to the last minute, and you should give yourself like at least a month to look over the terms and also the FRQ and what type of questions might be on the exam. My last tip would be to, when you're doing the exam, you should actually try to do all the questions first, and the questions you don't get, you skip them and come back to them, and that will give you like plenty of time to look through everything again. Thank you.
Hi guys, we're the AP Biology Ambassador for this year, and we're going to share some tips for the AP Biology exam. It's a pretty difficult course, but if you actually try hard, it will be better than you thought you would be. So first tip would be to actually take notes for each unit and review them systematically. Like for example, this month you can review unit 1 and so on. So because there's 8 units in biology, and we have to remember all the details and all the content within all 8 units. So it's really important to memorize and review them systematically.
My tip would be that on top of memorizing all the content, to understand what it really means is also very important, because biology deals with a lot of the details that you typically won't really understand if you're just covering the surface. Therefore, my suggestion would be to try to teach the concept to another classmate, and therefore it would help you both to understand it better and in more details.
And for exam related, make sure to practice your reading speed ahead of the exam, because the question will be much longer than you thought it would be. So make sure you can finish all the questions, including MCQs and FRQs. Practice your reading speed.
And aside from that, you will also want to practice your writing speed, because the FRQ has 6 questions and each one comes with a lot of sub-questions, so you need to write really fast. And you also want to practice some data analysis skills, which includes like graphing and looking at data and interpreting patterns. And those are some really important skills that may not be taught in class, but you need to have those in order to be successful during the exams.
Hi, I'm Angel Dong. I'm the AP Chemistry Ambassador. I'm here to give you some recommendations for the AP Chemistry course. So AP Chemistry is a quite long curriculum and is quite challenging, but very useful subject. So my first tip is that since AP Chemistry is really long, so there's 2 units that are completely in video, so you have to watch all the daily videos after the class and keep track and make progress of your curriculum reading. And the second advice is that since AP Chemistry involved a lot of complex calculations, so a calculator is really needed, and when doing the exam, the FRQs are really long, so you have to make your time management better. And the third tip is that you better have to finish all the practice paper so that you can be better prepared when the unit exams and for the AP exam coming. And that's all. Thank you.
Hello everyone, so this is AP Physics 1 AP Ambassador Yukon Yamauchi and
Nick Wang Hancheng. Here are 3 advices for you guys to be successful in the physics one. First of all, in AP Physics 1, it's very important to not just remember the equations, but please understand each equations. Yeah, remembering and understanding is very different. So, moreover, you really have to understand the relationship between each variables. For example, relationship between torque and rotational inertia, that kind of stuff. Yeah. Second of all, please spend time practicing MCQs. In AP Physics 1, MCQs are really disgusting. They ask you in a very weird way sometimes. That's true, bro.
And also, MCQs in AP Physics 1 is more than like dividing and multiplying the variable that is shown in the question. You really have to understand the basics, or I'll say like the concept that you learned in AP Physics 1. Yeah, so third of all, during the summer break, don't be lazy. please practice and learn the basics of physics, please. If you're lazy during this summer break, you might get a grade that you will not expect at the beginning of the year, which is a bit painful. So during the summer break, please do all the work that Mr. I will give you. Those works are not too much. It's not easy, but at least it will really help you. And also you can practice basic questions about physics 1.
Here's this kind of stuff. Alright, here's the translation for our DHS students. He spoke about English, and here is for Chinese version. 首先，第一点很重要的是你要记住公式。记住公式是首先，但是最重要的是你要理解公式它蕴含的含义是什么，而且你还要把不同公式之间的关系联系在一起。因为物理这个东西吧，它很恶心，它恶心在哪里？它并不是它只是有一个小小的公式，你要把每个公式之间每一个变量和每一个数字之间的含义弄清楚，因为它可能会有相同的大 A 小 a 大 B 小 b 各式各样的区别，你要给它搞清楚。然后第二点 ，MCQ 非常恶心，所以说你们要多加练习。除了 MCQ 之外呢，也一定要多练 FRQ， 这样子各种各样的资源呢，不仅在 College Board 上有呢，各种各样其他的网站上，大家可以勤加练习啊，这个非常重要，因为你不仅要理解之后，你还需要通过这样的一些练习去实践，去反复的深化和加深你的记忆，这一点也非常的重要。最后一点，大家一定要在暑假提前开始预习。这门科目对于任何之前没有物理经验的人来讲的话是非常困难的，所以说一定不要偷懒，好好学习。
We are the AP Calculus BC ambassadors. My name is Dennis Luo.
I'm Kenneth.
And we're here to give you guys a little bit of tips on this class.
Yeah, so first off, we want to start off with doing all your assignments that the teacher assigns you. Dr. Liu is a very responsible teacher. She will give us a lot of assignments to ensure that we get a good grade. And she posts everywhere, like she posts College Board questions. She gives you a lot of packets, and there's a lot of mock exams before the AP exam actually occurs. So you get a lot of practice, and you want to make sure that you want to attend at every mock exam.
And just make sure to do all your work. And again, the mock exams are really important because all the knowledges in BC are separated by units, and you can tell which questions is from which unit, and from your mock you can identify your weaknesses and then get more questions just so you can improve yourself and hopefully get a really good grade during the actual exam.
Hi, 大家好，我是 Cindy。
大家好，我是 Bella。
然后我们是 Calculus BC 的 AP Ambassador， 然后我们主要想分享一下，就是说，首先呢 ，Dr. 刘是一个非常值得信任的老师，他会在这个过程中给你们发布很多问题啊、视频呐，你就根据老师的这个指引，然后根据他的这个节奏去走，就没有什么太大的问题。
这个小明老师他会把所有的这个作业全部都纸质发给我们，包括他的就是所有的这个 packet， 它上面都是有练习题的，然后就是一定要把这些练习题全部都做一下，因为他真的就是对理解这个知识非常的有用，并且这个小明老师他还会在就是这个 AP 考试之前，他会给我们就是在 College Board 或者是给我们纸质打印出来那种模拟的那种 mock exam， 所以就是说一定要记住，就是不要缺席他的 mock exam， 因为这些就是考试的话非常有用，它能就是帮你摸一下底，然后知道就是你的薄弱之处和你的强处在哪，所以一定要参加，并且就是一定要有问题就可以直接发给小明老师，他就是24小时内基本都会回复的。
然后在学习的过程当中呢，一些公式不要死记硬背，小明老师也会在上课的时候帮助你推导这些公式它们是怎么来的，然后通过理解的方式和一些就是基本定理去结合理解这些公式，你会感觉它会更简单一些。
Hello, my name is Thomas Sabahi. I'm currently at grade 11 at the DIS American School. And
hi, I'm Selena, and I'm a grade 10 student in DHS.
So both of us this year we're taking pre-calculus, AP pre-calculus, taught by Dr. Lebingi. So my first tip for students is to know your calculator and know your calculator well. During the exam, you'll be given Desmos, but personally I feel like your calculator, which is the TI-84, is your best friend during the exam. You'll be able to graph stuff, you'll be able to kind of place values on a table, and then it's just going to give you your graph, which is going to save you a lot of time.
So second, don't be afraid to ask any question to Dr. Libingi because he is very friendly and I'm sure that he will be very happy to answer any question you ask.
And then the last tip for AP Pre-Calc students, for next year's AP Pre-Calc student, is to know the unit circle and trigonometric identities. I would say that you should maybe learn them throughout the vacation. There could be found in the Unit 3, the last unit that the AP exam is going to teach you. And knowing the unit circle is definitely going to get you a 5 on the exam. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Elvis and I'm the AP ambassador for AP Chinese. So the first tip I have for you guys is to just use Chinese whenever you have the chance to, whether you're at home or with your friends, just use Chinese as much as you can. This will help you prepare for the listening and the speaking part of the exams. The second tip I have is to just review a lot. Like talk to your teacher, ask them to give you some practice questions like MCQs and FRQs so you can practice at home or during class. And the final tip I have is to not double click during the AP exams because that will cancel out your answers. That happened to me during the listening part of the exam. I double clicked on an answer and it submitted a blank answer, so just don't do that. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Hi guys, my name is Susan Lee.
I'm Alex Biondo.
And we are the AP English Literature Ambassadors. So AP Lit, I would say it's a very challenging course because it requires a lot of readings and writings. But I would say it's a very useful class because, when you go to university, when you go to work, you need a lot of writing skills and you have to be able to read a lot of stuff. So I think it's definitely worth to take this class. And we are here to offer you guys 3 tips.
The first major tip that I would say is you will read multiple longer novels throughout the year, and they are very, very important. Your grades will be based on them, especially in the form of frequent reading quizzes that are fairly difficult. You need a lot of attention to detail. So read thoroughly, memorize, understand your books. You will also need them on the last FRQ of the AP exam, which is something you have read in the past. This is very often tailored to one of the books you read in class. Very important. You all right?
Okay, so my second tip would be to make annotations. During the AP exam, make sure you make annotations on the readings because this year it's gonna be full digital exam and it's very hard for you to scroll everything. So I would say understand and make annotations along the way so that makes sure you don't have to reread everything again, which saves you a lot of time and you can have more time to do the questions and do the writing.
Lastly, a practical tip, know your format for your essays, which you will do a lot of, including the format for your thesis statement and how you want to lay out your evidence. This is what a lot of your points on FRQs and essay assignments will come from. Knowing how to structure an essay saves you time on the AP exam and makes it much easier to get your thoughts out coherently and properly in assignments. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Hi everyone, we are the AP ambassador for the AP Computer Science Principal. My name is Bella Zhang.
My name is Mason Kim.
So to succeed in the AP Computer Science Principal, you need to focus on understanding the 5 big ideas: the creative development, data and algorithm, computing system, and the impact of computing. Mr. Slava will post the 5 big ideas PPT in the Teams, and you can check it.
Also, we have a performance task in CSP. I recommend you guys to start earlier because performance task is a big part of your score and in the AP score. So as an AP ambassador, I recommend you to start earlier and to finish your code and get feedback from Mr. Slava. Also, AP CSP sounds like easy AP, but there in the MCQ part, there are some questions are tricky. So we recommend you guys to do the mock exam and practice your tricky question and get high score in the MCQ. Well, thank you.
Hi, future Human Geo students. I'm Amy, and this is...
I'm Max.
So today we're going to give you 3 tips about learning Human Geo. So the first tip is to study over the summer, and then we have a recommendation for you, which is watch YouTube videos and the Mr. Sin's channel. It's really helpful. And then also is to write your notes neatly, so it's a easier process for you to review for all the summatives and also the final AP exam.
And remember to be confident while you are taking the AP exam because you know much more than you think. So be confident, and that's all. Thank you.
Hello, this is AP Micro Ambassador Yukon Yamauchi and
Mason Kim.
So first tip in AP Micro is when in doubt, graph it out. The graphs are your friends. This is what Mr. K told us about how to be successful in micro. So those graphs are the possible graphs that will be shown in the actual exam. Please be able to draw those, and when you are stuck in MCQs, draw those graphs. You will make it.
Well, not just memorizing the graph. As an AP ambassador, we recommend you guys to know why they are looking like that and why they are like shifting in the MCQ and FRQ. Like having this concept will lead you have a high score in both in grades and AP exams.
Okay, so the second tips to be able to be successful in AP microeconomics is to being able to apply those vocabularies in the actual exam. In microeconomics, there's like more than 10 ways to say a word money. For example, we have revenue, we have total cost, we have explicit cost, we have implicit cost, we have like average total cost, we have total cost, something like that. Please don't think all the thing equals to money. You have to be able to differentiate each vocabulary to be able to be successful in AP microeconomics.
Well, like also as I mentioned, like you just like if you memorize this, it will be great, but you need to know like why they are calling like that, like, and also you need to summarize in one sentence that you can use in FRQ to get a high score. Well, you have like great teacher called Mr. K to always supporting you. If you have any question, ask him, and he has a PPT, like nice PPT to teach you. So use that resources to get a high score in AP Micro.
Alright, so the very last tip is to not be a procrastinator. Please keep working on AP Classroom MCQs. Please practice the FRQs. And I think that's it for the tips. Thank you.
Okay, we are the ambassadors of AP Micro. So now we are going to share some tips on how to learn this subject well.
Firstly, make sure you memorize and understand all the graphs related to this course because a lot of the questions are testing your understanding on different features of these graphs.
Okay, and I think it's also important to flexibly apply the knowledge that you have mastered because this course contains a lot of new concept and definition. So if you try to rigidly memorize those stuff, it's hardly efficient when you're taking the exam. So it's quite important to explore the inner mechanism of every concept or definition.
Lastly, be sure that practice your questions more frequently on your device so you will be more comfortable when facing the hybrid digital AP exam in the final day.
Hello everyone, we're the AP ambassador for AP World History. My name is Mason Kim.
I'm Hansen Hu.
We are here to give 3 tips for how to get success in AP World. Like first, to write a strong essays like LEQ, DBQ, or SAQ, you need to like writing a good essay, not just knowing detailed historical knowledge. Well, you need to understand the prompt and you need to answer the prompt like as the question asked. So we recommend you to practice at least 1 DBQ, 1 LEQ, or 1 SAQ each week to get a feedback from Mr. Singleton to get a high score in the exam.
Okay, so I think it's also important to cultivate your reading ability because there's a lot of reading stuff in the MCQ and FRQ in the test. And there's only 55 minutes to answer 55 MCQs. So if you don't speed up to answer those questions, your test will probably be a SAT 2.0. It's quite difficult.
Well, lastly, like as an AP ambassador, we get really like helped by Mr. Singleton. Like his feedback is really good, and we recommend you to always ask him questions. Like he will definitely going to help you, and he's a good teacher. And well, thank you.